Hey everybody, what's going on? Hope everyone's doing well out there. As you can see, I got the neck on the guitar and some strings. She's in tune, ready for a setup, and yeah, that needs one hell of a setup. That string is really high up there and needs to come down quite a bit. So a couple interesting things that I noticed about this bass is, one, the nut. The nut, instead of having a slot inside of it for the string to rest in, being like a U shape, this is a little different. The nut on the strings on these things is tapered at the top of the opening where the string goes in. The string snaps into there. I don't know why they made it that way, but it is, and I'm not going to change it. You can still tune it. It doesn't seem like the strings are binding at all inside the nut, but it's just kind of a weird thing. But I do have my bass nut files over here just in case I need to change the action height at the first fret after I do the setup on this thing. Another thing on this guitar that I thought was kind of odd was how they string it around the tuning pegs. And if you look at this picture, you can see that one side is reversed from the other side. And if you can see the way the strings are going from the nut into the tuners, it's kind of like a straight shot. They're not really cut on an angle too much, and that probably explains why you're not getting any binding or anything in the nut the way that they have the nut cut on this thing. And then one side is normal as far as how you wrap, and the other side is backwards. So let's get back to this thing. I'm going to go ahead and check this truss rod out. I know for a fact that this guy is going to be way out there. So let's see if I get my 12 thousandths here and do some adjusting. Alright, so I'm going to hold the guitar kind of in playing position, fret it right where the body and the neck meet, and yeah, I can really see, oh yeah, there's plenty of play in there. I could probably stick about 6 of these damn things in there. So let's go ahead and tighten up this neck a little bit. Just a little. She still needs a lot. Truss rod moves nice and smooth. You could feel the tension behind it as you're tightening it, but it's really smooth when you turn it. Still needs more. Now this is going to drop the action height down quite a bit on both sides of the neck, at the 12th fret and at the 1st fret. And once I have this where I want it, I can go ahead and check everything else. She's close, but not where I want it to be. I'm going to have to retune it as well. That's a lot closer. So if I go ahead and retune this thing, take some of the tension off the neck after I adjusted that, and go ahead and check my relief again. Yeah, that dropped it down pretty good. Can go down more, but I'm kind of liking that. So let's see. That's not bad, but action height can still go down some. Still in tune. So I'm going to let this sit just the way it is right now. Unplug it so I don't waste that battery, and let the neck, truss rod, and the strings do its thing for a bit, because that could change still. I mean, it's not set in stone as far as that setting goes where I have it at. And because of the, when you have the tension on the neck, setting a truss rod with the string tension still, and then you have to retune it afterwards, it can change a little bit. So I want to make sure that this thing is going to be where I set it and stays where I set it. So I'm going to wait a little bit and come right back. All right, so this has had a chance to sit for about 20 or 30 minutes now, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of check out to see if this neck has changed any from basically where I set it. And hopefully it stays in place. It's kind of changed a little bit. I need to tighten it up just a little bit more. Not much. Not much. That's better. At least I'm hearing the string rub the feeler gauge a little bit. Go ahead and check the tuning on this thing again. Make sure that everything is still pretty close to where it was. Alright. So I'm going to check the action height on this thing, see where it's setting it. I know this thing's going to be pretty high. Oh yeah, she's sitting at a 1/8. Yeah, I don't want that at all. So the neck profile of this is a 12-inch radius. So what I'm going to do is go all the way over here and drop down these strings quite a bit and keeping them straight. I'm going to do that to all of them, because I'm going to start all over again. Because this does have a set screw on both sides of the saddle. So you kind of want to keep it even as far as how many times you turn them. I'm turning them a turn and a half to drop them down. And let's see where I end up falling now. I still got a good ways to go before I hit where I want to hit it. I'm getting there. Slowly, but I'm getting there. About a half a turn now. Alright, so I got that side where I want it. Now for this side. Then I'll retune. Okay. I want to check that bridge to make sure that all these saddles are straight, not tilted, which I already see one that is tilted. Okay, and this one here is tilted a little bit as well. All right, let's go ahead and tune this thing up. Oh, can't tune it without plugging it in, although I was close. All right, that feels a lot better than what it did. So there's a 12-inch radius on this thing. So what I want to do, since I have my outer two strings exactly where I want them to be as far as the action height goes. Now I have a 16th on this side and 5/64ths on this side. What I want to do is take my radius gauge over here. I'm going to put it back over here, over on the bridge. And what I'm going to do is pluck the string. Okay, so the center is still too high. I drop the center down. And I will give that a full turn on both sides. And see where I'm laying it now. All right, that's muted. That buzzing you hear is the string buzzing off of this. That's exactly what I want. Go ahead and tune her up again. All right, that sounds good to me. Oh, much better than what it was. A lot better than what it was. Intonation now, right? Go forward a little bit. So we're looking at a set screw again. Maybe this one. Oh, I can't see. Can't be this one. It's too small. Yeah. What are we using here? Are we using a set screw or are we using a screwdriver? We're using a screwdriver. My bad. Okay. Yeah, this thing was pretty much set for high action, very high action. Right on the money. And this one doesn't need to be changed at all. All right. So basically, other than to adjust a pickup height, if that's adjustable. And actually, that side's right where it's supposed to be. And so is that side. I don't have to adjust the pickup height. All right, so now that everything else is done, time for the last step of this and possibly setting the intonation again, but the action height at the first fret. So right now it's kind of sitting a little high on the low side. I want to get a 25 thousandths here. Let's see what I got. Oh boy, yeah, I could probably put, let's see, 25, and this is like 51 thousandths right here. I could slide 51 thousandths inside there and it barely raises the string up. So I want to fix that right now. Remove the string. Okay, that one was okay. Didn't grab too much. And let's see, I need my... Alright, so I ended up taking this a little bit further and working on the action height at the first fret. Since I had the truss rod adjusted where I wanted, I had the action height at the bridge where I wanted it, the tuning where I wanted it. Now it was time to make it more comfortable on the neck at the first fret. These strings were out there. They were pretty high. This nut has never been worked on. That's probably why the U shape really wasn't a U shape, where the strings were into the nut and it kind of snapped into the nut, not just laying on top of it like it's supposed to in its groove. Well, no more. That's fixed. So what I ended up doing is filing down the top of the nut. I ended up getting a 25 thousandths, 20 thousandths, 15 thousandths, and a 10 thousandths feeler gauge. So on the E string, right now there is an action height at the first fret of 25 thousandths. And then on the A string, that has a 20 thousandths. And then on the D string, that has a 15. And on the G string, that has a 10 thousandths on it now. So it's more comfortable to play the upper part of the neck instead of trying to struggle and fighting with it. And then after setting up the slots, I end up filing down the top of the nut, polishing it off, and that way the strings aren't sitting inside of a real deep groove. They're sitting where they're supposed to be. This thing is a really nice bass, and you know, it's a shame that I got it for $270 after seeing what I've been seeing these things go for on the internet. I'm kind of lucky, I would say. I wouldn't say it's a shame. I'm very lucky to get this the way I did. And the condition that it's in almost like new condition, other than a little bit of oxidation here and there that tried to polish off the cosmic black. That's what they call the hardware on this thing. As far as the color goes, you know, it's not chrome, they call it cosmic black. And I was able to shine it up, not like new, but very, very close to it. Probably if I took the buffing wheel and kind of hit it with the, not the rubbing compound, but the chrome polish, I probably could have got a lot of the oxidation out of it, but I don't feel it. So it's like in the metal itself. The bridge, same thing. Got that cleaned up as much as possible. I lowered the action height at the bridge a lot. And the action on this thing is very comfortable. There's no, where I had the neck set at, no fret buzzing at the first fret. So that's exactly what I want. Also, if I decide to change my tuning on this bass, I'm able to do so where it's set at now without still getting any type of fret buzz at the first fret. You don't want your action height to be really high on any type of a guitar, musical instrument that has strings on it, because it just doesn't feel right and it doesn't make you want to play. You're struggling trying to play the guitar or bass. In my case, as far as, I'm not a very good bass player or guitar player, to make the instrument a lot more easier to play and a lot more comfortable to play makes you want to go back to play more or try something different as far as music goes. So there is a right and a wrong way of doing things with your guitar. And if anybody says that, oh, you can't screw up your guitar, yes, you can. There are a lot of different ways that you can screw up a guitar, a bass. You can either file the nut down too much as far as your string slots go. You can level your frets too much, and now there are no frets. You can screw up your crowning to where after you just leveled it, if you don't do your crowning the right way, now your frets are back to square one where you're going to have to level them again. Just a lot of things that can go wrong with this. A lot of measuring that has to be done. Knowing what certain measurements are and how to use them and what they're for is a big thing. It's same thing with finishes on guitars as well. If you end up refinishing a guitar or something and you want it to look nice, take your time. Don't follow people who have showed their products or their outcome of what they've done, and you ask the question, why? Those are people that you don't want to follow as far or take advice from. And if you're looking for like a high quality finish and stuff, look for the videos, look for other people, not just myself or somebody else who does actual spraying. There are a lot of people out there that are very good at what they do, and their work shows it. Yeah. Don't trust anyone that says, oh, you can't really screw up a guitar unless you drill a hole in it. Okay. Or has videos up or doesn't have videos up of him doing setups, but yet says that their videos are basically to get you to be able to do the work yourself and do it comfortably, and then says that they're not a luthier or professional as far as working on guitars. Those are the people you want to stay away from. Those are the people that are basically going to steer you down the wrong direction as far as how and what to do with your guitar. You end up following them, you might end up with a lot more problems than you really wanted, and then you're going to be spending a lot more money for repairs, replacement of the guitar that you own. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to start playing around with this thing now. I'm kind of anxious to hear what this thing sounds like and make a video of it to share with you. So you guys take care, have a good one. Sorry my videos are very, very long, but I try to get a lot of detail in as much as I can. I do cut out a lot of like dead air as I'm working and stuff. That way the video kind of goes step by step, and you're not just sitting there twiddling your thumbs, even though you probably are. All right, guys, take it easy, have a good one, and I'll catch up with you later.